Hi everybody, my name is Charity and I love to crochet plushies. This is actually my first YouTube video, so I'm very excited to film it. I asked some of my followers over on Instagram to ask me some questions so I can answer them on here, and I have them all written down in a book, so if you see me looking down, that's why. I'm just going to jump right into it. Let's get started. First of all, I asked my friend Jenna from Crochet by Jenna, you may know her if you crochet, and she sent me a question over on Patreon, so let me go through that first. She said, "What got you into crocheting? Did you learn yourself or did someone teach you, like a family member?" Okay, so for the first question, what got me into crocheting the first time? It was a family member who taught me. My mom taught me how to do the simple chain stitch and the granny stitch. So my sister and I would make granny square blankets. My mom would make the granny squares and then we'd build off of them. But what really got me back into crochet was about a year ago. My friend at church had a little baby boy and I wanted to make a present for her. So I crocheted her a granny square blanket, and then another friend from church gave me an amigurumi kit, and I made my first amigurumi. Let me go grab it. So it's pretty rough, but it is absolutely adorable. It's this little fox. I hope you can see it. And I just got me into it, and then made my nephew a bunny for his birthday, and then it took off from there. I think that covers both of the questions from her, so let me jump into the Instagram questions. Dahlia.crochetcorner, I hope I'm pronouncing all these right. I'm bad at pronouncing usernames. She said, "What was the first thing you crocheted?" So I've already showed you the first amigurumi I've ever crocheted, but the first actual thing I crocheted was what I said, granny square blankets. And if you don't know already, a granny square is, let me get an example to show you. So this is a granny square. It's a pretty big one. I'm making it into a purse, but it has these really pretty stitches and it's very easy for beginners to make. So that's basically the first thing I ever crocheted other than just like a regular chain. Alright, second question is from Creatures Be Crocheted. What is it that you love most about crochet? This is the thing I love most about crochet, and it's being able to make what's in my head come to life. When I was younger, I always wanted to make little stuffed animals and draw these elaborate pictures, but they never turned out like I wanted to. I would sew them out of felt or fabric, or even try to make them out of clay, or they never turned out the way I wanted them to. So when I learned to crochet, I realized that I could make what is in my head come to life. And it was so awesome too. So that's the thing I love most about crochet, is being able to draw something and it come to life. Let me show you a picture here. I drew of a little sushi. I was able to crochet it in real life. And that is the coolest part about crochet for me, is being able to turn it into something that I can hold. Our next question is from April Renee 80. She said, "How long have you been pattern testing?" Okay, so pattern testing has to be one of my favorite things to do as a crochet artist. I started pattern testing, let's see, it was a little after I'd learned how to do amigurumi, and I was confident that I could follow a pattern. So I started pattern testing. This was actually one of my first pattern tests. It's this little itty bitty dolphin pattern, and I started all of my pattern tests over on Ribbler, a good system for pattern testers. So next one is from Foodie Moon Crochet, and she was actually the first one who bought anything from my Etsy shop. Shout out Amber. She said, "What inspired you to start crocheting?" It would have to be my grandma. She was an amazing crocheter. I only have a few of her things, but here's a granny square that she crocheted that I keep up on my bulletin board to inspire me. And she also crocheted this right here. It's a little sheep. My aunt actually gave it to me. She did a lot of more delicate work on crochet, but just knowing that someone else in my family did crochet is really inspiring. Alright, moving on. Ray.clay.crochet. She said, how long have you been crocheting and how did you learn? Okay, so I've already been over this, but as I've said, there was a span of probably 6 years there where I didn't crochet. I learned when I was about 6 how to do the basic crochet, and then I didn't do it for so long, and then when I was about 12 I made that blanket, and then 13 I crocheted my first amigurumi, and then 14 I just grew from there. Alright, the _crochet_world1015 said, what made you want to start crocheting and how long ago did you start? Okay, so this is a popular question. As I've said, the thing that made me want to learn how to start crocheting was my grandma and making all of my plushies turn into real life things. So, Southern Crochet Creations 24 said, who influenced you to start crocheting? So, like I've said, it was my grandma, but if I had to go to more recent times, it was definitely Crochet by Jenna who influenced me to continue. She influenced me to start my own Instagram, my own YouTube, and my own business as a whole. So, if you see this, Jenna, hi, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Alright, and Southern Crochet Creations 24 put a part 2. She said, how did it change your life since you learned to crochet? Ooh, good question. It completely changed my life. I have always been a big reader. I have a whole bookcase full of books. I love reading. I would spend hours curled up in my little chair swing back here just reading the day away. I would of course do other things, but reading was my main hobby. But after a while of crocheting, it took over everything. I still read, but my whole room, what I want to do, and everything else has been completely transformed by crochet. It is honestly the greatest hobby. Hope you enjoyed this video. It was just a little casual get to know me video, a few questions that people asked me. I hope to make more videos soon. Let me know down below what you'd like to see from me, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye!